Utah just might be the best place for a small business in 2021. If you're thinking about opening a small business, expanding a small business, or even relocating your small business, then you need to make sure to watch this video. I'm going to cover some very important points about why Utah might be the best place to move that business or start one or expand one. And I'm also going to cover some additional information that you need to know when it comes to actually doing that and finding a place that fits for you. So without further ado, let's jump into this. We're going to jump into my computer here, and I want to look at a couple of stats here first off as we get going. So based on this article by Fox Business, these are the 10 states, however, have proven to be the best for starting a business after more than a year of COVID-19 based on some relevant metrics, right? Well, Utah ranks number 6 here on this list. That's great. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Come over here. This is a article by 24/7 Wall Street. This actually just came out today, and it says that 22 cities in Utah rank on this list, including number 1 and number 2, St. George in the southwest part of the state, and Cedar City, which is just north of that. It's not surprising these Utah cities took the top spots. Statewide, U.S. News and World Report ranked Utah number 3 on its annual list of best states. Now, here on this channel, I talk a lot about relocating to Utah based on what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play here along the Wasatch Front. This video is going to be a little bit different. We're talking about small businesses here and why you might want to start a business here, move a small business, or even expand the business that you already have. We're going to talk about why Utah ranks so well based on these articles, just like they say, and we're also going to talk about some things you need to know, so make sure to watch all the way till the end. Now, as we jump into this, if you are a small business owner, if you already own a business here in Utah, or you're looking to expand or relocate a small business, then make sure to get in touch with me. I absolutely love it when people reach out. I do work in commercial real estate as well. Although I mostly talk about residential stuff, I do have experience in the commercial world. So if you're looking at buying a space, selling a space, or even just leasing it out, I would love to be the person to help represent you during that process. So reach out to me. My information is here on the screen, and it's also in the description below. And without further ado, let's jump into some of these reasons. So reason number 1 why Utah is so amazing for small businesses is because they have a very low corporate income tax rate. The tax rate is taxed at just under 5%, and this is actually really reasonable. Now, it's not 0% income tax like a lot of other states have, but it's definitely not as high as you will find in other states like California or New York, or even a lot of those other really expensive states. So just having a 5% flat income tax rate is really beneficial, because if you're going out there and you're hiring employees or even just paying taxes on your own income, you're going to be able to pay a much lower rate than you might be used to. 5% I feel like is pretty reasonable for all of the things that we get access to for paying those taxes. I think it's worth it. In addition to that, Utah also has a growing population. Let's jump over here back into my computer and take a look at this. So Utah has the fastest growing population according to the 2020 census. This is really important because if you are operating a small business, obviously you need people to come and purchase a product or a service from you. If there's more people that might be able to do that, then you're going to be able to sell more, and that's kind of the whole point of being a business, right? Utah's population grew by 18.4% over the past decade, making it the fastest growing state. Now, this is because of people moving into the state, as well as the birth rate versus death rate here in the state itself. It is now the 30th most populated state with nearly 3.28 million people, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, released Monday. Utah's population growth from 2010 to 2020 far outpaced the national figure of 7.4%. So we were almost triple. That's about 2.5 times what the national figure was, and I think it's going to continue on this path. I could easily see it hitting 4 to 5 million in the next 10 to 15 years. So I think it's going to continue growing, and this says it's no surprise that Utah is the fastest growing state in the nation over the last decade. Our beautiful landscapes, business, and family-friendly policies, and endless opportunities are hard to beat. Now, if we scroll down here in the article a little bit further and look at this line right here, the state grew by 23.8% from 2000 to 2010 and was the 3rd fastest growing at that time, behind Nevada and Arizona. So we are continually moving up in that ranking of the growth of population, and I think it's going to continue going that way. So if you own a small business here, if you want to be able to have that opportunity to expand at some point in the future, there's going to be a lot of that you'll be able to do here. And also, if you already own or looking to buy real estate, there's a good chance that the value of that property will go up in the future, right? If there's more people coming into the area, that's only going to supply additional demand in the market. And if you own the place or you're thinking about buying something, you're going to have that ability to capitalize on that increased value at some point in the future. Now, I want to talk about some of these additional points as we jump into the next article here. We're going to talk about Utah having lots of economic growth as well as having a very low unemployment rate. So let's jump over here and take a look at this. Re-engaging Utah's skilled workforce has been an important element in Utah's impressive economic outlook. Recent economic analysis shows that Utah has recouped the overall total number of jobs lost due to the pandemic. Utah's unemployment rate is 2.9%, a steep decline compared to the nation's unemployment at 6.1%. So Utah is very low. I know that people are having hiring problems, especially in like hospitality, retail, restaurant business, that type of stuff. And, we're having those same problems here in Utah at the time of this recording. But I do think that's going to be alleviated as more and more people move into the state and more people go back to work. I think this unemployment rate could continue to fall, right? The actual unemployment that we're seeing. Additionally, Utah has seen an influx of new residents throughout the pandemic. While many other states shut down, Utah's approach of protecting both lives and livelihoods made it possible for businesses to stay open. I think this is something that's important. I don't want to get political about the pandemic or anything like that, but the honest reality is that a lot of people did lose their jobs. They lost their businesses because of the pandemic. Utah realized that and said, hey, we need to give these guys an opportunity to continue to operate, and do their business because they need to be able to make an income. It's nice knowing that you've got the state and the government kind of on your side when it comes to stuff like that, and in some regard they are looking out for you. So I think that's better than just having somebody or having a government who just completely shuts you down. I don't know, that's my personal opinion. So I think that's really important, and it's good to have that just for kind of like future protection if there were another economic or another global health crisis, right? The state's focused effort of keeping Utahns safe and employed made Utah a desirable destination for families and business owners. In fact, the recently published U.S. Census Bureau report revealed that Utah was the fastest growing state in America since the 2010 census, with a growth rate of 18.4%. So this is kind of the same numbers that they were just talking about on that other article. Utah's enduring success can also be attributed to legislators' careful planning of the state budget. Lawmakers spend long hours thoroughly reviewing and figuring out how to allocate funds to protect and assist Utahns and their businesses. During the 2021 general session, the Utah legislature balanced its $23.5 billion budget, implemented tax cuts, and funded education and infrastructure, all in the middle of a pandemic. I know that government's not perfect, and of course they're not going to be the ones that are going to make or break your business. There's a lot of factors that go into this, but like I said earlier, having a government that's kind of like on your side is going to really go a long way, at least in my opinion. I think that's something that people are really going to value, especially as they continue to do business here in the state. So with that said, like I mentioned earlier, if you are a small business owner and you're looking to buy, lease, or sell real estate here in the state of Utah, reach out to me. My information is on the screen here, and it's also in the description box below. I'd love to talk to you about any opportunities that are out there. Although I mostly talk about residential relocation here on the channel, I do work in that commercial space as well and have the experience and know-how in order to help you find the perfect space or even sell the space that you already have. And in general, if you have any other questions, just reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you about the beautiful state of Utah. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I talk about everything you need to know about living here in Utah and also running a business, and I'd love for you to stick around for those future videos to get additional information. Give me a thumbs up here on the video, and with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.